Yeah, what's going on? It's Momo Head Movement TV, Halamala Talavala, with the main man Eddie Hearn. How you doing today, bro?
Doing good. Sorry we missed you yesterday.
Yeah, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah, Dillian Whyte press conference. Quickly talk us through the undercard, please.
The card's brilliant. I mean, starting from Duffield against Aziz at 6 o'clock. It's an old school southern area tear up, 250-50s between two popular Londoners, Lawrence Okoli, Dalton Smith. For me, the fight of the night, potentially Chris Billam-Smith against Richard Riakporhe. I think it's going to be a great fight. I mean, I just don't know what's going to happen in that fight. Two raw cruiserweights, two big punchers, two vulnerable guys at times as well. And then you move into the three heavyweight matchups. Of course, Dave Allen against Dave Price. God knows what's going to happen in that fight. I think it's a thrilling fight. Derek Chisora against Artur Spilka. Same kind of scenario in that fight. It's a real important fight for both guys' career. And, I think ultimately, Whyte Rivas should steal the show. It's a great fight between two world-class heavyweights. I think the pace will be intense. I think it's a dangerous fight. I think there'll be ups and downs. Wouldn't be surprised to see both guys come off the floor in that fight. And looking forward to a brilliant show.
What can you tell us about Rivas boxing-wise? Because like before with the Andy Ruiz, there was a lot made.
Similar thing. Guys that have been brought up around boxing, guys that have boxed for a much longer period of time than Dillian Whyte and Anthony Joshua and Andy Ruiz. Guys with a high boxing IQ, great amateurs. Rivas got big wins in the amateurs over Andy Ruiz, beat him comfortably, beat Kubrat Pulev. Well seasoned, very fit, great defence, strong puncher. Someone said to me the other day, do you think Oscar Rivas is better than Derek Chisora? And I said, away from Derek Chisora, I said, yeah, pretty much in every department. And Derek Chisora was winning that fight against Dillian Whyte after 10 rounds. So I see this as a 50-50 fight on paper. We don't know how Rivas is going to respond to the strength of Whyte, etc. But, I think it's a thrilling fight.
Mm-hmm. What would happen if Whyte was to lose? Have you explored the possibility and... Yeah, what would happen?
No, it'd be a disaster, obviously. He'd lose a chance to become mandatory. Maybe we'd look at doing the rematch. But, the good news for Dillian Whyte, if he was to lose, he does have time to maybe recoup that mandatory position before that comes in. But he's not looking at losing the fight. It's a must-win fight. But all these fights are dangerous. He continuously moves into dangerous fights. And this is another very, very dangerous fight on Saturday.
And he's a lottery ticket for anyone he fights now.
Both guys are very much avoided. I've never had a phone call from another promoter or another heavyweight asking to fight Dillian Whyte, any contender. And I don't believe Oscar Rivas has had many phone calls asking to fight Oscar Rivas either. So it's going to be interesting. And like I said, I do see it as a 50-50 fight.
And Rivas definitely looks the part as well.
Does, yeah. Great head-to-head. He's strong, he's up for it. And that's why I see the similarities between Ruiz. This guy's prepared to do anything to win on Saturday night.
The WBC situation, they've obviously promised the mandatory position for next May. But is that contractual? Is it?
Yeah,
all
in writing. I know, we know boxing. We know that might end up being June. Even if it was July, it doesn't really matter. The key is being mandatory. It's coming around. Wilder's going to fight Ortiz, so Dillian would fight later in this year if he won anyway. So it's not a major issue, that date, whether it's May, June, July, but May is the date in writing that we've been given.
Mm-hmm. If by some chance, there's a decent chance that Ortiz was to beat Wilder, I'd imagine they'd have a rematch clause as well. Could that put a spanner in the works?
Same thing, the date would remain.
So Fury missed the train?
Yeah, Fury that fight wouldn't be able to take place, and it becomes a bit of a mess. And that's the gamble of the Ortiz fight. I think that's why Bob Arum's saying, no, actually, don't fight Ortiz. Let's do the Fury-Wilder fight in the fall.
Okay, moving on to Anthony Joshua and the Ruiz situation. Has there been any pressure from any of the belts or the sanctioning bodies?
No, they've all been alerted about the dates that have been looked at for the fight. That correspondence has been sent to the governing bodies. Andy Ruiz just won the belt, so he's entitled to a voluntary defence with those bodies. You've obviously seen mandatories being put into place with the WBO, which is Alexander Usyk. There will be a mandatory in place with the IBF. The bigger problem will be for the winner of that fight deciding what to do with the belts, because you may have multiple mandatories put on you at one time.
Because Pulev's still in a position as well, I don't know about suspension.
Yeah, Pulev with the IBF, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. There's a queue here, so I'll leave you to it. Thank you for your time and thank you for making good with your promise yesterday.
All right, mate,
More Head
no problem.
TV, Halamala Talavala.